Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about something that has been going on lately. As you guys can see by my background, yes, I got baby chicks and I want to talk to you guys about them. But first, I want to talk to you about the insane struggle that it was getting this. I'm dying to know if you guys are having the same issues I am with getting baby chicks. If you're watching this video, I assume you're interested in chicks, maybe, or you've at least looked at them. Maybe you've gone to your local Tractor Supply store and seen them, or I don't know, maybe you're interested and so you'll have an opinion on this, or maybe you've seen them in your area or not. Getting these chicks was literally one of the hardest things that I've done recently. It was really difficult. I'm gonna tell you guys a story about how I got them, but we're not gonna do a enclosure setup in this video. I am gonna film that separately for you guys so you guys can just see me getting them and setting them up. This is just a video talking to you guys about how I got them and what a struggle it was. So after I filmed that last chick video for you guys about how to, basically the top five things you need to know to take care of chicks, I will link that video in the top of the screen if you guys wanna go watch that. Maybe it's this side, I know it's one of the corners. Patrick, my husband, said that he really wanted chicks this year. He was like, I think we should do it. And you guys know I'm pregnant, so I wasn't really sold on the idea of chicks because we're also not doing a garden this year. I know, how dare I? This would be my first year in 4 years I haven't done a vegetable garden, but I just have a lot going on right now. Kind of just shelving all of that until next year. I was just gonna take 1 year off, but Patrick really wanted more chicks, and so I was like, okay, they're not difficult, we'll do that. So almost a month ago, I started calling around looking for chicks, just like I've done years previously. And you know, doing this whole setup, this is the third time I've done this. So I thought that I would just, you know, look at stores locally, co-ops, feed shops. We have some local mom and pop feed shops around here. And then I have 2 TSCs that are within 20 minutes from my house. So typically I'll just call around. I'll stop in randomly whenever I'm out shopping and I will just go in and see what they have. And typically that is how I have had my most luck with the last 2 times that I've gotten 4 baby chicks at TSC. I've done it twice. The first time I got 4 silkies that were in a straight run bin. I will never do that again, but they were in a straight run bin, which means it's females and males, so roosters and pullets all mixed in. And I did that, and 2 of my silkies ended up being roosters that I had to rehome because they're very aggressive. And then 2 of them were females, which I ended up keeping. The second time I did it, I ended up getting 2 Rhode Island Reds and 2 Barred Rocks, which are my favorite. I love Barred Rocks. Plymouth Rock, Barred Rock, kind of the same thing. So I knew that this time that was what I wanted more of, and I did get them at TSC, and they were all pullets, so all females from the female bin. So that is essentially what I set out to do this time. I didn't care if I got 4 Barred Rocks, I was fine with that, but I also would have loved 2 and 2. I do like mixing it up just so that I can have a varied flock and they not all be the same, especially when it comes to, say, like an illness or something. It is kind of nice to not have 10 of the same bird. Instead, they all look different and have different personalities. And so if there's something off with one, in my opinion, it's easier to like see that because you're like, well, I only have 2 of those birds and this one's limping. You know what I mean? Like, it's just easier. That's just my opinion. So I don't like having like 10 of the same. So I kind of wanted 2 more Barred Rocks because I already have 2, so I would have only had 4. And then I wanted 2 more of something else that was docile. The Buff Orpingtons were also on my list, as well as Rhode Island Reds. So this time I did end up getting 4 chicks total, and I got 2 of each kind, which I'll go into detail on how I got them and how hard it was. But I knew that whenever I called TSC, you can't guarantee what they're gonna have in stock. Like, they may have only pullet Rhode Island Reds or only Barred Rocks, so I knew that I was gonna have to just take what they had. Is if they had Barred Rocks and that's it, and like say just ducks, and I would just take 4 of Barred Rock anyway. So, you know, I would have to just like make do with whatever they have. The problem is, every single time I called TSC in the last month, and I have 2 local, one that's about 35-40 minutes away. I have a local co-op that's 30 minutes away, and then I have like another kind of mom and pop store which didn't even get chicks this year, and normally they always do, and they didn't get any. So it's been a battle. In the last month, I have called TSC almost every single day, and in the last month, I do not know why, I've never had this hard of a time, but they would say, yes, we got some in, but they're all straight run, no just pullets. Or they would say, yes, we got pullets in, but they're a bantam breed, which are like like just like silkies or something, which I didn't want more of those because they're not good egg layers. I love my silkies, but I have some, so like I just didn't want more. They would have days where they only got in ducks. Like, it's been crazy. So the way that TSCs, at least mine do, I don't know how yours work. Let me know in the comments down below, again, if you've talked to them or if you've ever dealt with this or if you had issues getting them. But I would call my TSC, and even when they did get birds in, I would call and they would say, yes, we got some in, but we already sold them all. And it's like 10 a.m. Like, I haven't even had time to like leave the house or, you know, get things together to get there. And so I would call, but as soon as they got them, they would be gone within an hour. And that's the biggest thing that I have experienced over this last month, is not necessarily them not getting anything. They do get chicks in 3-4 times a week at my local TSCs, but they're selling them out within an hour or two. And I know it's chick season, but I have gotten chicks from them before, and I can just walk in the store and they have them. Like, they will always have them. They just always have them in stock, and not this time. I don't know if it's because of egg prices. That is my hunch. My hunch is that the egg prices and inflation, sorry, you guys can't even see them. They're kind of just like walking around. But with egg prices and inflation, I'm wondering if that's having a crazy effect on chick availability, because the story on how I got them, I didn't get them from TSC. I had to go like a whole different route. So my cousin also wanted chicks, and she's been looking for the past month as well. We both started looking around the same time. And she has no chickens, so she knew she wanted a varied amount. She was gonna get like 6 birds, I think, and she wanted them to be all different, and that was just her preference. You know, she just wanted a good variety for her first like little cluster of birds. So basically what happened is my cousin called me about a week ago, almost 2 weeks ago, and she had called a tiny little co-op store near her. She lives over an hour from me, and her local co-op had said that they were getting in barred rocks, olive eggers, some other Rhode Island reds. They were getting in some creams and some Buff Orpingtons and like a couple others. Like, they were getting in like 6 or 7 different breeds of chickens, and barred rock and Buff Orpingtons were on there, and she and I both wanted those too. So we got on the list, and the lady told us show up, or told her, because my cousin was gonna go get them for us, because she'd have to be there really early, and I live over an hour away from her. So she was gonna go get them for me and for herself if she could. So she was gonna try to get them before they sold out, because again, that's been my problem. I haven't been able to get chicks from TSC because I'll call, and I call, you know, 30 minutes later, an hour later, and they're all gone. Like, literally one day I called TSC. I know I'm rambling, but bear with me. Yes, chickies. And they hear me. One time I called TSC at 10 a.m. They said they had 10 barred rock pullets, so all females that had come in, and I got ready. I had to get my toddler ready. My husband was on his way home from work, and he was gonna stay with my toddler, and I was gonna go. That took about 2 hours. By 12:30, I called back to make sure they had them. I was about to leave the house, and they were all gone. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you sold 10 in 2 hours. Like, that's how quick they're going. So anyway, I had given up on that TSC route. I was still calling, but it was just when they go so fast. And so anyway, my cousin called the lady, got her name on the list, and the lady said, we will open and sell them at 8:30, but you need to be in line by 7:30 because there's gonna be people waiting in line already, and it's first come, first serve. So my cousin got there at the co-op at 7:15. She got there even earlier, and she waited in line for an hour and 15 minutes to get these chicks, and she still was not first in line. There were 3 more people in front of her, and there was over 20 something people behind her. She lost count. The line, they sold out of them that morning, but she did get my babies, and she got her 6. So all of our birds were supposed to be pullets. She had a list. She had it all written out, what I wanted, what she wanted, and she was 4th in line, but there was like an uncountable amount of people there waiting for these birds an hour before the store was even allowing them to be sold. Like, crazy. So she did get them. I'm so grateful to her. I drove to her house about an hour away and picked up my chicks and brought them home, and I do have that footage. I'm going to show you guys all of that in another video. This video was just talking about the crazy story of how hard it was, and I'm putting that out there. Mainly this video is to tell you guys my struggle, to tell you if you're dealing with this and you can't find chicks, you're not alone. I really think it's egg prices. It has to be the economy, egg prices, people just being like, I mean, eggs are like $6 to $8 for like not pasture raised, like not organic chicken eggs, you know, like it's crazy for like a dozen. and you use eggs for everything. I mean, baking, cooking, like egg washing your homemade bread. I mean, literally use them for everything, every meal. I mean, they are so versatile. I did not realize how hard it was going to be to get my hands on chickens this year. I'm so grateful that I have them. I'm going to show you guys one of them. So this is one of my little buff Orpingtons. I've never had buff Orpingtons before, but they're so sweet and they're so cute. I love them. I just think they're so precious. I love chicks. They're so sweet. And this is one of my barred rocks. One of the two that I have. So I have 2 of these and 2 of these. Those are my babies. I'm gonna put them back so I don't stress them out. Normally I have this metal protector over top of this so that it actually props up this lamp higher, and then it also protects them from toddlers, dogs, cats, anything. But I took it off for the video so that I could have easy access to them. But yeah, so that is my story. That is what I dealt with to get them. I'm grateful it worked out. My cousin did end up getting 6. I ended up getting 4, and it all worked out great. But when I tell you, she had to like make plans 2 weeks in advance to get them, and TSC just had none. My local co-op didn't have any. I mean, it's just crazy. Also, we did check with Hoover Hatchery, because Hoover is who TSC Tractor Supplies typically source from, at least here in Tennessee they do. And Hoover is not accepting any new orders, number 1. And number 2, if you order from them, you have like a 10 to 15 to even 20 bird minimum, depending on the type of bird that you get. The minimums are extremely high. They're crazy. And we just didn't want that many birds. Like at first she was going to get 4 and 4, so we only needed 8. Again, it just wouldn't work to ship them like that. So this definitely worked out for us, and I'm really grateful. So keep calling your local places if you're struggling finding birds like I did, like we did, me and my cousin both. Definitely keep calling, keep trying. Just that's all I can recommend. Keep calling, because that's what we did, and luckily she found a place to get them. But I mean, we tried for a month. So are you experiencing this? If you're out there and you're looking into getting baby chicks this year, were you able to just walk into a Tractor Supply or a co-op and find them? Or did you have to plot and plan and, you know, miss them like a dozen times like we did? Because like I said, I have gotten chicks 3 times now, and I've never not been able to just walk in there and get some. Like one time I even just walked in there on like a random day of the week, and they just had a bunch of them. And then I went into TSC randomly about a week ago because I needed to get, I was getting some chicken feed for them, and I think I was getting some horse feed. And when I was in there, I walked in there and all they had was a ton of ducks. Cause you know, ducks are, I think, harder to place because ducks are messy and stuff, and you really have to be set up for ducks. Chickens are easier, but they only had ducks. And he's like, no chicks, we haven't had chicks in 2 days. We've sell out of them, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, wow, like they just don't keep them. Like it's crazy.
You again?
Yeah, still thinking about it.
Hey there.
Hi. Lots of ducks.
Yeah. Hoping to get a shipment of chicks in.
Anyway, but yeah, that is my video and my story of my struggle getting these baby chicks, but they're so sweet, and I'll insert some footage of them so you guys can see. And then in the next video, I'm going to show you guys how I got them, and we are going to, I'm going to show you guys getting them, bringing them home, and I'm going to show you guys setting up their enclosure here. So stay tuned for that video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this one. I will see you guys next time. Be kind. Bye.